Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into Anthropic's huge new AI model release, Claude Sonnet 4.6. So let's get right into what makes this update such a big deal.
So let's start with a question that, is on pretty much everyone's mind in the AI world. How do you get your hands on the absolute best, the smartest AI capabilities without completely blowing your budget? It's that classic dilemma, right? The trade-off between top-of-the-line intelligence and a price you can actually afford.
And that trade-off is exactly what we're calling the power versus price problem. See, on one hand, you've got these incredible frontier models that can do almost anything you can imagine. But they usually come with a hefty price tag and can be a bit slow. This creates a huge gap for developers and businesses who really need that power, but just can't justify the premium.
So how do you fix that? Well, Anthropic thinks they've cracked it. Let's meet Claude Sonnet 4.6, a model that was literally built to bridge that exact gap.
And listen, Anthropic is not being shy about this. This quote from their announcement says it all. They're basically saying, hey, that top-tier, super expensive Opus model you needed for heavy-duty tasks? Yeah, you cannot get that same level of performance from our much more affordable Sonnet. So what does that really mean for us?
Okay, let's really break this down. Sonnet 4.6 is not just some small incremental update. No, it's a major strategic play to make high-end AI available to way more people. The big picture here is that you're getting the brains of their most expensive model at the price of their mid-tier one. And it comes with massive upgrades in three really critical areas: coding, getting the AI to use a computer, and reasoning over huge amounts of text.
And those three areas are exactly what we're going to dive into right now. Let's unpack these three game-changing upgrades that make Sonnet 4.6 such a massive deal. First up, and this one is huge, is the incredible leap forward for anyone who writes code. Honestly, this is where Sonnet 4.6 is really, turning some heads.
And check this out. Here's the proof. In early tests, a majority of developers, we're talking 59%, actually preferred using the new, cheaper Sonnet 4.6 over Anthropic's previous top model, Opus 4.5. I mean, that's just staggering, right? It shows the improvements aren't just about saving money, it's about getting better, more useful results.
So why the big preference? Well, it really boils down to it being less frustrating to work with. Developers said it's way better at understanding the code that's already there before it makes changes. It cleans things up, it's less likely to give you lazy or half-finished answers, and, this is crucial, it's just more reliable when you give it a complex, multi-step coding job. That means more getting stuff done and less time wasted debugging the AI.
Okay, the second big upgrade is all about automation. And this is pretty cool. We're talking about giving the AI the ability to use a computer just like a person does. Seriously, think of it like the AI has a virtual mouse and keyboard. It can click buttons, type in fields, and navigate through software on its own. This is a massive step for automating all kinds of tasks.
And this timeline just shows you how fast this stuff is moving. What was just a wild idea only 16 months ago has now reached human-level skill on some tasks. We're talking about the AI using real-world software like Chrome or navigating complex spreadsheets. This is an absolute game-changer for automating work on older systems that don't have modern connections, like filling out clunky web forms or dealing with ancient financial software.
And the third major upgrade, this one is all about sheer scale. It's about the model's ability to not just read, but to actually reason over truly massive amounts of information all at once. This is where that famous context window comes into play.
1 million. Just let that sink in for a second. 1 million tokens. That is an absolutely enormous amount of information for an AI to hold in its head for a single task. But what does 1 million tokens actually look like in the real world? It means you can literally drop in an entire software code base and say, find the bug. You can give it a whole year's worth of financial reports and ask for the key takeaways. It can analyze dozens of complex research papers or a super long, dense legal contract. And it's not just reading it, it's understanding how all the pieces fit together. Okay, so we've got these three incredibly powerful upgrades. The big question now is, who is this for? Let's connect the dots and see who's really going to benefit from Sonnet 4.6.
It really breaks down nicely into three main groups. First, developers. They get a smarter, more reliable coding partner. Second, knowledge workers. They can now automate tedious financial analysis or document reviews. And third, big enterprise users, who can now build some really sophisticated internal tools,
like systems that automatically route contracts or keep their sales data in sync.
All right, let's get to the bottom line here. When you boil it all down, the message from Anthropic is crystal clear, and it brings us right back to where we started.
This table lays it all out perfectly. The older Sonnet 4.5, still great for quick, everyday stuff. The new Opus 4.6, still the king when you need the absolute deepest, most complex thinking. But right there in the middle, that's the new sweet spot. Sonnet 4.6 gives you excellent, near-frontier performance, but at that same low Sonnet cost.
And this right here, this is the headline. This is the whole story. With Sonnet 4.6, you are getting intelligence that, until now, was only available in top-tier premium models. But you're paying the much more accessible mid-tier price for a whole range of advanced AI work. That power versus price problem is effectively solved.
And all this leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As this trend continues, and as that line between the most powerful AI and the most affordable AI gets blurrier and blurrier, what new things are we going to see? What new applications and ideas that used to be too expensive or just impractical will suddenly be possible for all of us? It's exciting stuff. Thanks for watching.